Hello everyone! Thank you for joining us once again for one of our streaming safaris. My name is Kylie. Behind me I have Megan, and we're going to get to her in just a little bit. Now before we get started, thank you again so much for joining us, especially yesterday for Benny's birthday. We had such an amazing outpouring. We absolutely loved it. It was a great time for us, so hopefully you had a good time with us. If you missed it, don't worry, the videos are posted down below. As always, we want to thank everyone so much for their continued support and donations. Donations really are our lifeblood right now. Remember, it takes about $25 per cat per day to keep them fed. So those small donations really do add up, and we couldn't thank you enough for them. If you're interested in donating, we have links here on our Facebook page and on our website, which is at thelionhabitatraNch.org. A really easy way you can also go and make donations is, as we're doing a lot of online shopping right now. I should not know my Amazon delivery guy by first name basis, but I do. Put your Amazon Smiles on there. You can go and link us on your Amazon Smiles. That's a really easy way to continuing with your day. You don't even have to think about it, and a small portion of your sale goes back to the care and feeding of us directly from Amazon. So it's a really easy way that you can also help. We do greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now before we go ahead and get started, I have one more special message. We want to go and wish happy birthday to our very own Ginny DePasso. She's our Community Outreach Director, and we're so glad for her. We hope that she has a safe and wonderful and happy birthday. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to go ahead and point it over to Megan here behind me. One of the things we talked about yesterday was enrichment. Well, we like to go and vary it up a little bit, and this time is no different. With us having a little bit more time to go and think about things we can go and interact with our cats with, we decided to do sound enrichment. And Megan was so nice to go and volunteer to go and bring in her viola. So we're going to go ahead and get Chili and Pepper, and Chili has been very interested in this since she came over. So we're going to go and see exactly how they respond and what kind of response we get from this. All right. Excellent. Now, things we were originally looking for in that, if you watch her, she was intent on Megan the entire time. She had good focus and she concentrated on her. So while it may not have been a lot of overt reactions, I actually think that was a pretty good response from her. She was very interested and engaged. And that's always the point of enrichment, is we want to seek engagement from that. And she definitely was. So that's something that she had never heard before. But maybe we'll go and increase that into our repertoire. What do you think, guys? Go ahead and post comments if you think we want to hear more from Megan later on. Now, this streaming safari is all about lions, because we're not lying, guys. That's what we do here. If you have questions about lions, now is your time to go and answer them. I'm happy to go through that while we go through, and I'm happy to go over some general information as well. So I'll go and point these guys off. Let's come in here real quick, because I want to go and show off Pepper. Looks like I got a bird friend in here too. You're going to hear him. So we can see Pepper hanging out back there. Pepper is Chili's sister. These girls are 15 years old. You've probably seen them in other streaming safaris. You absolutely love them. Now these girls are girl lions. Pretty easy to tell because of their names. But one thing I absolutely love about these girls is you'll notice Pepper there has quite a bit of growth on the front part of her chest. A lot of people think that she might be a young male. Nope, the exact opposite. Old lady beard. So that's called a pseudomane, and that happens naturally as the estrogen decreases in the body over time, just like it happens with all female mammals. The testosterone that's naturally present starts to show through a little bit. So why we have to go and deal a bit more with facial hair as we get older. It's not fun, but it's a fact of life. Same thing happens to lions, and that makes me feel a little bit better about it happening to myself. So this is called a pseudomane. You can tell you're looking at an old baby lion because they get that. Now male lions have those great big manes on their head because that helps with protection. Now, what lions need to be protected from, because they're kind of apex predators, well, that pretty much goes and sums it up. They need to be protected from each other. When males come in, they will fight for dominance. They're going to fight to be the king of the pride. If you ever saw a lion king out there, it's kind of the same thing. They have to go and take over. So having a nice thick mane helps with that. Looks like we got our first question.
How fast do lions run?
How fast do lions run? There's two answers to that question. Overall, you're going to see speeds listed as about 50 miles per hour. Not quite though. how long do they maintain that speed? Really, they have enough energy to do one quick burst of speed, which gets them about 30 feet. After that, they're pretty much tired. Now they can leap pretty far as well. From a single bound forward, they can actually reach about 30 feet, a little bit over that. So they can reach some pretty far distances, but they're not designed to run. Cheetahs run. Cheetahs are weird cats, and they do that. Most other cats are stalking animals. They're designed to have great big powerful jaws, and all their muscle is up in their shoulders and their chests. So if you look at a lion, their hip ends are kind of narrow. They don't have a lot of muscle to them, so they're designed for those quick bursts of speed, but it's all built up here. So if you ever see a running lion, well, that means that lion is a pretty terrible hunter and they probably won't survive. They're really designed to just be sneaky as possible. So while they can run pretty fast, it's for very short periods of time, and hopefully they catch something. Lions are only successful at hunting about 20 to 25% of the time, meaning they're going to chase something down 3 or 4 times and miss. Ooh. So hopefully they're able to go and catch that. Next question.
Where's John at today?
Where's John at? Well, our keepers do get days off. So on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we have what's called the skeleton crew, where we go in. Our cats don't eat every day. We do have some fast days that helps keep things moving, because as I just explained, they're not eating every day. So it's a good way to help maintain balancing, and it gives them a chance to relax. So we're able to come in, we do really good cleans throughout the day. Yesterday, so the day before, they go and they get one of their favorite foods, which is a shank bone. So it's about 3 to 4 pounds of meat, which would be pretty much natural for their usual diet. And then we're able to go and make sure things are moving the way that they should. It gives us a chance to really look at the health and well-being of our animals in very different ways. We want to make sure that, again, especially for our older ladies, things are moving the way that they should, in and out. All right, any questions yet? If not, happy to move on. All right. Oh, yeah, we do have a question.
How much food would a lion eat in a day?
So there's 2 different answers to that too. Here, it has to be very, very monitored. So our females eat about 5 to 8 pounds a day. Males usually eat closer to anywhere between 8 to 12 pounds a day, 10 pounds being pretty average. Now, that's for a cat who has a very regulated diet. They don't have to constantly hunt for food. Their metabolisms are incredibly slow. We're actually coming into that heat of the summer, so their metabolisms are actually on the down slope right now. They're very high metabolisms in winter, low metabolisms in the summertime, so they will actually reduce the amount that they eat. Sometimes they can go down to as little as 2 to 3 pounds a day, so those are things that we monitor. In their natural environment, they might only get to eat once a week, so they better make the most of it. They're going to consume anywhere between 30 to 50 pounds in a sitting, depending on the size of the cat. Now that sounds like a lot, but again, that's going to have to last between a week to maybe even 2 weeks. I had the honor of going down to South Africa a few years ago, and where I was down in Shishingeni, we had a major, major drought. Water buffalo were very, very weak, and we were watching females hunt by themselves, water buffalo hunting by themselves, which is insane, and they were constantly gorging on themselves to the point where they actually couldn't breathe. They had to go and roll over to make sure that their esophagus stayed clear, and that way they were able to go and survive. So these are some very unique ways that they would have to deal with. Now that brings me to one of my favorite points about cats, their tongues. Now everyone knows that cats have sandpaper tongues, but there's a reason for it. And a lot of people think it's to groom themselves. Nope, it's to lick the meat off of bones, because if you only have one chance, you better make the most of it. So those little spines on their tongue are actually made of the same stuff as our fingernails. They're very, very strong, they're very, very sharp, and they face inward on the tongue. So as they're lapping up that food, it goes directly in. So that when they're going and making those kills, they have a good way to go and do it. Next question.
We have Wendy April, who lives nearby, and she can sometimes hear the lions roaring. Sounds incredible, but she was curious as to why they roar.
So lions are, so there's a couple different things. Lions are part of the genus Panthera. Those are your roaring cats. Now lions take it a step further. They roar for a completely different reason. Long distance socializing. They are the only social cat. Every other cat lives by themselves. So when a lion roars, it is to communicate that it means business. And what that business is, well, that's lion business. And it could mean anything. It's basically their newsletter. It's going to talk about who their neighbors are. Because like a good neighbor, stay over there. Kind of thing for lions. They want to know who their neighbors are, but they don't want them to cross into their territory. So they want to know who their neighbors are, if their neighbors have changed. That's an important information. If you have a dominant male lion next door to you, and all of a sudden that lion isn't there anymore and somebody else is bellowing, there might be some social strife coming your way. It's important to know that. Could be a female in heat. That is very important for some boy lions to know. So it's all of those social information. Now, bellowing can be heard up to 5 miles away. So because they are a social cat, they do have to go and leave the area to hunt. The females actually do all of the hunting. They have chores, just like we do. So a male lion might have to go and find his female bride, and he will also go and bellow. So there's a few different lion vocalizations. So that's what that social call is. It is commonly referred to as a roar. And you most likely have never heard it before because lion roars sound weird in movies. They sound kind of dopey, if I'm being honest. So that's why, like our personal MGM lion, who we are mostly the descendants of, that MGM lion at the beginning of the movies, sorry guys, that's a tiger roar. The lions don't sound like that. Most of the time they go and they sub over tiger roars. Yes, next question.
Do lions express happiness or pleasure with distinct meows, or do they purr?
They don't purr. Purring happens in smaller genuses of cats, mostly like your house cats. So the Panthera group does not roar, does not purr. The largest cat that can is the genus Puma. So you can probably guess what cat that is, and that is the mountain lion, the cougar, the puma, they all are the same cat. So those cats purr and mew. Lions cannot meow, but cheetahs do, and it's super adorable. Highly recommend checking out videos of that. But lions do have some vocalizations that do express pleasure. I recommend checking out Benny's birthday party yesterday because he did a really good job with that. They have something called a moan, and that is their happy sound. They come up and they go, oh, oh, that's my personal one. And so oftentimes if you're visiting us, you'll hear the keepers call out to the cat when we walk by, oh, oh, and it's a sign of affection and friendliness. And oftentimes if they're up and seeing a keeper that they really know, you'll hear that same response. It's pretty obvious to see. Yes.
What are their names? Can you introduce? So do you want to do a little reintroduction for people who are just joining us to these cats?
Oh, yes. So I have my Pepper Peepers behind us. This is Pepper. So Pepper is sister to Chili. Chili Pepper. There you go. Easy to remember that way. So these girls are absolutely amazing. 15-year-old females. So they are getting up into that senior years. When they live under human care, lions typically live to be about 15 to 20. So these girls are on the older side, but doing very, very well. We actually have 2 other senior females here who are going to be 21 this year. So we happen to have some very lovely cats that do happen to live very long here, and we're very, very proud of that and very pleased with that as well. That is something that we never take for granted. That's something very special to us. Yes.
I've noticed some smaller enclosures inside the larger enclosures. Can you talk about those ones?
Absolutely. So these are what we refer to here as our lockout or our shift out areas. In order to do things safely, we might have to go and do cleaning on the areas or long-term maintenance. Some of the cats, these girls, we can go in with. Our senior keepers are able to go and work with them, but some cats we do not go in with. All of the exhibits have these features of the shift out areas, so we're able to bring them in, we're able to secure them safely and lock them in. That way we can go and focus on our tasks at hand instead of the 300-pound lioness behind us. So those are ways we're able to go and just work in all of the exhibits. So every morning we come in, that's where the cats eat their breakfast, so it's a very safe place. Oftentimes they will go and lay in those areas purely because they choose to. So those are areas that we constantly want to reinforce positively for them, that they know that they're a safe area that they can go and spend some time in. If we have to get into maintenance is a big one. We want to make sure that all of their exhibits are safe, so it makes it really easy for us. Yes.
Who is older, Chili or Pepper?
Same age. So, they're not quite twins, but that's a good way to think of it. Humans only usually have one baby at a time. That's not usually how it is for lions. Lions have litters, and that's a group of cubs. And that's what a baby lion is called. It's called a cub. And so a litter for a lion is we're going to get Chili here. Hi, Mama. She's going to go and probably with her sister, which is what sisters do best. So a litter size for females is anywhere between 1 to 6 lions. 2 to 3 though is more common. Anywhere more than that, it can get pretty hard for mom to produce milk enough to feed all of them.
Are lions often active, or do they rest a lot?
Yeah, lions are not active. This is prime Chili excitement right now. This is her being just super excited. Look at her go, guys. Eat your heart out, NASCAR. Yeah, that's about it. That's what you see every day. So lions do sleep a lot. That goes back to their very slow metabolism and the fact that they don't get to eat every day. That's what keeps them alive in their natural environment. It's the fact that they can sleep all that time. Keeping things low and slow in the body is a really good way of making sure that they're able to go and process everything. You can see they actually have some lick marks on the windows here. That's because we're able to go and give them enrichment here. And so oftentimes they'll actually come and lick it up. It's pretty fun to watch. I highly recommend checking out videos that we took on New Year's and had that. So yeah, this is what they do. They sleep 20 to 22 hours a day. I am so jealous of that fact, I can't even lie. And that helps them go and process that meat nice and slowly. Yes?
What is the normal temperature for a lion?
Normal temperature for a lion? Exactly what we got here in Vegas. Think the Mojave Desert, because these guys are coming from very, very hot sub-Sahara Africa. So that it can get up to 115 to even 125 degrees in some cases. So physiologically, these guys are already built for those kind of areas. They're able to naturally form all throughout the continent of Africa. Historically, lions were found from the very southern tip to the very northern top. And unfortunately, due to hunting and human populations, there's no longer a northern population. So they're called Barbary lions, and they have been hunted to extinction around the 1940s, officially declared extinct in the wild in 1961. Now that phrase I just used, extinct in the wild, means that they're not all extinct yet. In fact, you're looking at some Barbaries right now. So these guys were actually from the northern area. Now ours were born and raised in human care. In fact, they were born right here in Las Vegas. They are more local Las Vegan than I am. So not only are they physiologically able to deal with a lot of those heat and temperatures, they're born and raised around it too. So they're able to deal with it pretty well. So this is a normal spring day for them. Pretty nice. Now we can go and spoil our cats though, because we have temperature controlled den boxes in each one of their habitats. So we have heated floors in the wintertime or air conditioning in the summertime. Pretty nice, I won't lie. I'd have to go and stand at 110 degrees and they get a nice air conditioned den box. That's how it goes when you're a zookeeper. Next question.
Do lions often see other lions, or do they just stay with their families, specifically for us, or both in the wild, if you want to talk about both?
So I'll talk about the ones in the wild first. If they are born in a pride, which is a group of lions, if they are females, they're probably going to stick around. Not always though, because only the dominant female will get, or possibly females, if there's two of them, will get to breed. Because the daughters stay. So there's one dominant male, he goes and he breeds with the dominant females, and any daughters he has will stay in the pride. He will not go and breed with them. They are too subordinate compared to their mothers or aunts if they happen to be there. So sometimes young female lions do go off on their own if they get a chance to breed. Now boy lions, on the other hand, tough life. They get kicked out when they're around 2 years old. And that's pretty small for a lion. At 2 years old, they're only between 100 to 300 pounds, which sounds big, but now a full-size lion is closer to 500 pounds. That means that they have a lot of competition. So oftentimes they will stick with their brothers. So a sibling group of lions is not called a pride, it's called a coalition. And they will usually stay unless there's girls involved. Sometimes the brothers end up staying in the pride, but usually if there's a dominant male and he ends up getting a pride of his own, eventually the more submissive brother will end up having to go on his own. But hopefully he's larger by then and he can go and defend himself a lot better. Now, born and raised in human care depends on our facility and the needs of others. We want to go and protect and conserve the breed of lions, especially the Barbary species. That's something that could be very important for the future. Accredited zoological facilities have something called species survival plans. And that's a very dedicated group that's run actually mostly by volunteers in the Feline Taxonomic Advisory Group, or the TAG. And we work with zoological facilities throughout the country to make sure that breeding is as healthy as possible, because we know that right now we might have to be the ones to help keep these populations alive. So it's something that we take very, very seriously, and it's basically Match.com for lions. On paper, they look really good, and when a lion is born, we can go, hey, it looks really good with this lion over here. We have this female, we have this male. We think that these guys would be really good genetically together, and hopefully they actually get along when they meet. But those are some things. So lions might stay with their family, they might not. We want to make it as natural as possible. So a lot of times females might stay together, but here's the other thing. Just because lions grow up together doesn't mean they always get along. Sometimes you just have to go and play it by ear. And while you might have plans to keep lions together their whole lives, they might tell you otherwise. Sometimes boy lions or girl lions might suddenly not get along with each other. Then we'll have to go and figure out other homing arrangements. So that's why, again, working within the accreditation field, we are part of the ZAA, the Zoological Association of America. We can go and make sure that the fields that we work with and the other facilities meet our high standards, so we know we're all the same universally, and we can go and protect those animals. So there's a lot that goes into it from day one. Yes.
Do the lions play with toys?
Absolutely, but some more than others. It's just like us. I like to go and have my introvertedness when I get home and sit and knit. If you know me, everyone knows that I go home and knit and I'm nice and quiet. So I like to go and do that, but others want to go for a run or go to the gym or things like that. Energy levels definitely vary by individual and by age. A lot of the times our younger cats are way more playful than our older cats. But you'll notice, if you can see, we have a little spool up there. Those are some toys that they can go and play with. So when we go and we clean in the exhibits every morning, we go and we rearrange their toys. Sometimes they're kind of like toddlers. If you touch it, suddenly they want to play with it. And we're also putting our own scent on it. So it's something that they can find interesting and play around with. And if you want to look over here, if you look at this ball, I don't know how much definition you can go and see, but all those little divots on there's not a golf ball, guys. Those were not there when we took that ball out of the packaging. Those are lion claw and tooth marks. If you actually want to go and bring something home of that lion tooth mark, we actually have little enrichment keychains when we have to go and retire a toy because they played with it too much. We go and we cut it out, and you can take a lion claw and a lion tooth mark home with you. If you want information about that, feel free to leave comments, and we're happy to answer those questions. So also, we have a video of Belladonna being super cute with her ball. Just a few videos below this, so go ahead and check it out. Go on the Facebook page. All right, guys, let's go into our craft of the day. We're going to keep this one pretty simple because I don't know how many crafts you guys have at home left because it's been a while. So we figured we'd make these really just cute, simple lion puppets. You guys can go and put on your own puppet show. Record it. I want to see it, guys. If you guys are making a really cute puppet show, I want to watch all of them. I love it. I love seeing your artwork, guys. I can't stress it enough. So there you go. We can do a male lion today, or a female lion, or lioness. Now, I want to go pick this up because I think it's adorable. Lionesses have spots, guys. You're not looking at a leopard. You're looking at a lioness who knows how to camouflage and hunt. Look closely the next time you see pictures of lionesses, and on their back legs and bellies, you'll often see spots. All right, I'm going to go and get my crafts out here. Got my googly eyes, because life is so much better when googly eyes are involved. I can't stress that enough. Got my glue stick. Now, when it comes to going and decorating your lion, do whatever you want. If you want to have your lion have a pink mane, go for it. Have fun with it. So, to make the lion mane, if I'm not bringing scissors, that would so be mean, guys. I'm super prepared for this. Hi, Jim. Just cut off a small little portion of the pie. Open it up. And just go and give it a quick snip. Taking your glue stick. Move this out of the way so you can actually see what I'm doing. Taking your glue stick in. I'm going to go. Put it right on the back there. And then you can just go and fold this over right there. So the very end, you're going to go put under where the mouth goes. Right there. Boop. One more time. You can hear that noise in the background, by the way. That is one of my favorite birds here. And actually two of them are calling there. The kind of honking sound is a shiganito. An African chicken. Pretty awesome. Beautiful birds. Not the sharpest tools in the shed, but I adore them anyways. There you go. And now you can go and color that mane however you want. So there you go. Do it yourself mane. It kind of looks like it already has ears. If you want to go and add some ears to it, go for it. If you have some colored paper already, or if you have your strips from when you made your lion mane, you can go and put that on. Or, I was thinking about this, remember we had those paper plate ones? If you have your paper plate around, it actually would fit this. So you can go and give your lion a paper plate mane. So feel free to go ahead and do that. I'm going to be a little fun today. I'm going to go and get a pink mane, because I can. Rock out that pink, guys. So, and again, you can color it and decorate it however you want. If you have markers, if you have crayons, whatever works, guys. You know that craft supplies are getting a little bit limited, so just have fun with it. Don't overthink it too much. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give my lion a pink nose. Why? Because cute, adorable lions have pink noses. And that's usually because they're young. So when a cub is born, they usually have a pink nose, and it will darken over time. Now, not always. Chili's nose over here is one of my favorite things about her. Chili's nose is actually still very, very pink. So sometimes you'll see an older lion with a pink nose, but usually they get black over time. So you might see an older lion with a pink nose, but you will never see a young lion with a black nose. So, a little mouse right here. Super easy. Gotta get some whiskers. Now, whiskers are very important for lions. They are for sensing things. They basically act like little feelers on them. So that is a really fun thing to go and add. So whiskers are very, very strong. I'm going to go into some paws because I can. Because I am the master of my domain when it comes to however I want my lion to look. You guys are too. And of course, googly eyes. Now hopefully the googly eyes actually stick. They're pretty heavy for this glue stick, but we'll try. Any other questions on launching my craft, guys? You guys have been so awesome. I love answering your questions. You guys are always so amazing. Couldn't do this without you. I love your responses. I love everybody. Special shout out to Tina, Lauren Tina, and her daughter Rennie, who have been so amazing with their crafts. We love seeing them, so thank you guys so much for sending those in. And also special shout out to my nephew and niece, who are amazing and absolutely love lions, and I'm totally going to make sure that they grow up to be zookeepers, just like their auntie. Alright guys, are you ready for the big reveal? There we go. I didn't do a mouth yet, but if you guys want to go and draw the mouth, there you go. Lion puppet. If I don't get to be a zookeeper the rest of my life, artwork. This is where I'm going to go and spend my time, guys. Alright. Can't wait to see your finished ones, guys. And again, please make sure if you guys have just a few dollars to spare, I'm not spending $5, really make a huge difference. We have seen the amount of outpouring so far, and you guys have been just absolutely remarkable. It does take about $800 a day just to feed all of our lions here. That's not talking anything else, that's not talking anyone else. $800 per day to make sure that our lions get fed. That's pretty impressive. So any of those small donations that we've seen coming in really, really add up, and they make an absolute amazing impact. So thank you guys so much. Or Amazon Smiles, really easy way to go and continue doing what you do, as well as making a benefit to us. Last question?
Are there different types of lions besides male and females?
Okay, yes. Let's start with the most obvious, African lions versus Asian lions. Yes, there are Asian lions. There's a very small population in the Gir Forest, G-I-R, the Gir Forest, and India, about 600 of them. So it's actually a fairly good population size. They were actually extinct in the wild up until about 20-ish years ago. Don't quote me on that though. And they tried doing a reintroduction program in that area, and they actually look very similar to African lions, except smaller, darker, and their manes are not as full. But if you looked at them, you'd be like, yep, that's a lion. So very interesting there. But there's no chances of meeting, and they really haven't had the chance to really get out of that preserve. We haven't seen them really take off. So they're still kind of considered that protected species right now. They're living in a wild area, but still definitely under human protection. Now, as far as the African lion goes, there is only one African lion. It is the African lion, pretty easy there. But there were some different demographics of that. So within that, we have what's called now the southern or the Cape lion, and that's your Lion King lion. Pretty easy. That's the only lion that can be found in Africa today. But in the early 40s, there was the last known sighting of a Barbary lion, I think Barbary coat, which is in northern Africa, Algeria, Morocco, places like that. So that's where these lions used to come from. And they're a little bit larger. Our largest is Dude. He's 600 pounds, which is massive for a lion. They're manes are very, very big, and the biggest distinguishing factor is that the male's manes go all the way down their belly. If you ever watch the movie Lion King, their manes stop at their shoulders because they're southern lions. So that's one of the distinguishing factors. Southern lions tend to stand a little bit taller, a little bit longer because they're hiding in that really tall, long grass. The Barbary coast lions are a little bit shorter and stockier. They kind of remind me of more of a bulldog because their areas were a little bit on the more scrubby, rocky side. So they were built to kind of deal with that more uneven terrain. But they were hunted to extinction. And 1944 was the last known sighting, and then 1961 is when they were officially declared extinct in the wild. Currently at this time, there are no plans for reintroduction, and that's because there's no place to be reintroduced. There's no home to go home to. So while zoos, especially in Europe, are working closely to preserve the species, and they have had some receptive interest in local governments in that area, you basically have to find utopia. You have to find a place that not only has the right size, but it has enough food for multiple animals. It's quite the process of finding the absolute perfect place for that in an area that's very developed. So we're still working on it. No hope is officially lost, but it's definitely going to take some time. Yes.
Will we ever be getting a mate for Ozzy or a partner for Ozzy?
Right now, it's not in the immediate plans. With the permit situation here in the county, we were at capacity. So politically, we're there, and also he's a little bit young too. So he's not quite there. So as his ages change, as we go and work with the community here, that can definitely change as well. So we'll go ahead and keep you informed on that. So keep an eye out, and we'll let you know. But it's time to go.